August the 23rd, 2024. Guys, I really haven't been able to do much of a video in the last few days, but I think that what I've got to say tonight is very important no matter what happens, and so please hear me out. Wednesday, I got in some trouble. My blood pressure was real high while I was at the neurologist's office, but before that, I'd been having trouble, and they had, when I was in the office for her to read the MRI of my neck and my brain, and it showed that she wasn't sure exactly when, but that I had a stroke in the right front lobe. And I've been noticing for the last few months really having a hard time doing videos. I'd have to back up and start all over again just because things were kind of blurring out on me. But this is not about that. This is about something that's happened since, again, Wednesday. I was at my neurologist's office to find or to listen to her give me the results of the brain scan, and she told me about that. And so I had to drive about an hour, and it always kind of gets me dizzy, but my blood pressure shot up while I was in there with her. We were almost through with our office visit, and I felt real bad, and I asked her I said, would you check my blood pressure? I have one at home, but I was an hour away up in Jackson. It was over 200, and so she immediately called the local Jackson ambulance service, and they got me immediately to St. Dominic's Hospital up there. And anyway, it's been pretty blurry and kind of a struggle the last few days. That's not what this is about. I've dreamed my whole life, and I've had a few lucid dreams. But the last 2 nights have been the clearest. These weren't dreams, they were visions. They were so clear in color. Now, last night, guys, you may say I'm crazy, but I got to tell you this because it happened continuously. Every time I close my eyes, this would start over again, and it was God telling me, and maybe this is why this has happened to me, to refocus. Anyway, the dreams have turned to visions. Again, I know it sounds crazy, but last night, the dream, just hear me out, it was like 3 or 4 groups of people out in the desert at night, full moon, and maybe sky watching or whatever. That wasn't the important part, but I was looking up. It was clouds coming over the full moon, and then suddenly an opening there where you saw the full moon, but there were concentric circles. In other words, not a spiral, but circles that went out from the moon as far as you could see, and the clouds were obscuring that in some places, but it was very clear. And then there were objects like round circle black dots moving inside those rings and behind the clouds. And I had noticed when the vision started that as the sky, or the clouds, were parting and to the right, they were moving from left to right as I was looking up. And I noticed when they come in, the first cloud was very bright and white. And then after it opened and I saw the full moon with the concentric circles, which I'm not sure what this means. But it did look like some type of objects moving up through there, round objects. But the cloud that was leading the way, that was very bright when it opened, as I looked back towards that cloud, it turned to a white horse and continued to gallop. I think it was from west to east. I'm not sure what I'm saying, but everything was crystal clear. The colors, the memory, everything. Now the white horse, as you know in Revelation, that's the beginning of a great war. And so I felt like I was going to get through this. Just, excuse me, I'm struggling just a little bit. But the Lord put me here as a watchman a long time ago, but now it's changed. I don't know what it means. I don't know what exactly the dream means, except that white horse pulling all of this away in the clouds, and it was perfectly clear this was a white horse. And so I thought about it, and I even looked it up today on Google. I said, can a stroke or high blood pressure, extreme high blood pressure, cause a change in your dreams? And it said exactly it can. Now, it's a struggle to do what I'm doing. I don't know how this is going to come out. But I felt like tonight at 7:47 p.m. Central Time that as I'm figuring this thing out, that I need to spread this message. God's not going to let me rest until I tell you this. And Russia is very upset at Ukraine right now. Ukraine had, if you remember a few videos ago, they had attacked a nuclear power plant up near Kursk inside Russia. And they had been launching an advance up into that area. And so it came out today, and I was reading some of the intelligence paperwork that was available. And the attack, where we saw the Ukrainians push in, and by the way, they've been annihilated, and most of the NATO equipment with them, they were pushing in to try to get to a power plant that's just west of Kursk. And it's the only unprotected power plant, so when you saw burning the right tower in the video the other night, they wanted to push in there. This is not Ukraine. Let's say NATO. Let's be truthful. 11,000 troops lost their lives. And since I said NATO, you know where a large portion of them came from. Young men and women that are innocent, that are being handled by demonic warlords. But what has happened now, the paperwork came out, and they were going to try to, as a last desperate attempt to slow Russia down, go into Russia, 11,000 troops, and take over that Kursk power plant, nuclear power plant. They didn't make it. So now they're trying to blow it up. It's like if you can't win it, burn the house down. But in this case, Europe, you need to realize that NATO in Ukraine is about to destroy most of Europe. The rest of the world will follow in some form or fashion. Anyway, guys, it's I don't know exactly what to say other than the very, very clear, I'm not calling them dreams, this vision. And you know this is not like me. But for some reason, God changed things in my head to where it's different. It's not comfortable, but it's different. God, guys, we're watching this. You watch it, okay? Look it up for yourselves. Look it up in Revelation, the white horse, and see where we're at. I think that's what is happening to me now. God bless you guys.